Hey everyone, it's Jenni Oates, and I'm coming to you from Franklin, Tennessee, and we are, give me a second here, I'm going to add my friend. Let's see if we can do this here. Okay. I've never added somebody before, so we are trying to make this happen. There she is. All right, wait for it. The big moment.
Hey!
Yay! It worked. Hey,
Yay,
Becky. We
I feel like
did it.
car with you.
Oh, this is awesome. Technology worked for once for me.
Yay.
Awesome. Well, as I said, I'm Jenni Oates, and this is my friend Becky. I am super excited to be able to do this video with her. And y'all, I just have to say, first off, the miraculous happens because I am not in Lycra or spandex or dry fit at this moment. And Becky, I can't imagine with your Infarrantly Creative, crafty stuff. Do you have crafty outfits you kind of live in all the time?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're all painted. So if you find something that doesn't have paint.
Or pajamas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pants,
so
baby.
this is like miraculous. I'm not in exercise gear and my hair is not in a ponytail or a bun. So it's just amazing. So let's just kind of say hallelujah.
So we had a Facebook Live video.
Yeah, we're in big girl clothes. This is awesome. So we're excited. We're really excited today because there's some really cool stuff happening with doTERRA and some buy one, get one specials. And I specifically wanted Becky to hop on because she just had an amazing experience getting to firsthand experience peppermint, walking in the fields and doing some cool stuff. And before she jumps into that, I just wanted to share that my very first experience with essential oils and doTERRA was peppermint. And I had struggled for years with migraine headaches and honestly there was a 2-year period of my life where I struggled with fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, and as a result had about 8 to 10 migraines a month and was trying all sorts of natural things, was exercising, going to chiropractor, changing nutrition, supplementing, and a lot of stuff was helping, but it was never really getting away that headache. And so when those headaches would hit, I was just down for the count and I was out. And so my very first experience was somebody shared some peppermint with me and said, just try this. They actually gave me several oils and I was quite skeptical. Didn't really think that it would work, but I got a super bad headache on a vacation after being in the sun on the beach with the family, headed back to the room, put a little bit on my temples as they had instructed, put some on the back of my neck and closed my eyes and thought, again, very skeptically, oh yeah, right, this isn't going to work. I've tried a bunch of other things and literally within seconds, a couple minutes, the headache had lifted enough for me to sit up and go, this stuff really works. And again, if some is good, maybe more is better. So it was like, woohoo, more peppermint, And I come bounding out of my room to Nathan down at the beach waiting with the kids, and they were just shocked to see me because typically when this hit, I'm out, Becky, I don't know if you get headaches ever, if that's something that you've ever struggled with, but it's debilitating for those of you that have ever experienced that. And it would just rob me of time, quality time with the kids. I don't know about you, but if I get a headache, I'm kind of cranky mom, and that's not really a fun thing. So this was amazing. It was my first opportunity to see that, wow, essential oils work and they work quick. They're super effective. So I am just pumped today that this BOGO is buy one peppermint, get a past tense for free. You're going to be hearing a little bit about what peppermint does. But Becky, I would love for you to just share. You've recently had this phenomenal life-changing experience. Tell us about what you just got to do.
Yeah, so I am in a program called Diamond Club with doTERRA, and I placed in the top 15. So I was able to win a trip with doTERRA to go to see their peppermint and spearmint fields. So I traveled to Corvallis, Oregon. So for those of you guys who don't know, doTERRA does source from 42 different countries, which is amazing. They literally search the globe for the best plants in order to have the most chemical constituents. And actually, peppermint is grown right here in the United States. It's in the Willamette Valley. The reason why they chose the peppermint that grows in the Willamette Valley is because it has the highest menthol rate, which is really important for the things that doTERRA really wants peppermint to be good at. Obviously, one being headaches. So I got to travel there, and I literally got to stand in the middle of the peppermint fields. I got to take some of the peppermint, I got to chew on the leaves, and got to watch the distillation process. It was really, really neat, and it was really cool. And one of the things that we brag about in doTERRA is our co-impact sourcing, and so to see some of the owners interact with the farmers there, it was really awesome just to see that relationship as well. And so peppermint, why we love peppermint, obviously it's for the headaches. And Jenny, I don't know how you use it, but I like to take a drop on my thumb and just push it to the roof of my mouth. No matter what, if I put it around my temples, I somehow get it in my eye. I don't know what my problem is. So I like to put it
Use your air. Use your air.
Yeah, it's hilarious. So another way that we like to use peppermint in our home, and I always recommend this for menopausal women, is putting it in a little spray bottle. So this is just a 4-ounce spray bottle. It's filled with water and then just 10 drops of peppermint. And it's great for hot flashes, but also just if you're going on a hike and you tend to get overheated, just spraying yourself down. It is, like Jenny had said, a natural vasodilator. So it opens up those blood vessels in your head, but it's also a natural coolant. So one of the things we like to do is give everyone a peppermint experience when they come to a class, and putting it on the back of your neck. Within 2 minutes, you're going to feel that cooling sensation. Another way I use it is...
Becky, what about menopause? What about men? What about some men that get some menopause and they've got some hot flashes going? I know Nathan might have this occasionally. So I'm liking that tip. I'm liking the spray bottle. I think I'm just going to spray him down next time he's having his little man moment and hot flash. I'm going to be like, peppermint. Peppermint all over you.
Yeah, my eye.
Maybe that's what he needs. Peppermint in your eye.
Another thing too, just speaking of summer, is doing the same thing, but then also adding lavender, peppermint, and lavender on sunburns. Obviously, you can tell I'm super fair skin redhead. I get burned. I'm very ridiculous about the sun. But when someone in our family or anyone gets sunburn, it's a great way to cool it down and then to soothe it with the lavender as well. So that's another tip that I use, is having it for sunburns. It's better than aloe in my opinion, because it brings that cooling sensation, but it also soothes with the lavender. Those are the top ways.
That's awesome. I love that. Great idea.
Another is, my daughter's raising her hand. What do you say, Kayla?
Yay, Kayla, tell us.
She's like, you put the peppermint in the car diffuser when I get car sick. Yeah, that's another. The reason why peppermint's so awesome is because it's that opening. And so if you put it on the bridge of your nose, it's going to open up your sinuses. If you put it on your belly, it's going to help with stomach discomfort. It's also good for muscle spasms as well. I don't know if you've ever tried it for that. Hangover, putting it underneath your nose, it helps as well. I can't have firsthand experience with that, but that is definitely
whatever.
What to do. Energy. It's really good for that 3 o'clock slump. I don't know about you, but when I know it's a mental thing, 3 o'clock, the kids are home, homework, and I have to start dinner, and my house has to be clean by the time my husband comes home because I'm anal like that. So peppermint gives you kind of that boost of energy. So, inhaling it or putting it in a diffuser is going to really help you just have that boost of energy, that midday slump for me. So those are my top ways of using it. So any other ones you want to add, Jenny?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Sometimes I struggle a little bit with just respiratory stuff and breathing, and especially certain times of year. And right now the heat index has shot up. They've given heat warnings, and it's well over 100 degrees heat wise. And so I just take it with me and I stick a drop down my throat, literally take some water and drink it. If I'm in the middle of an exercise and just really struggling to breathe, it just immediately, I put it in and then I kind of inhale, take a big deep breath, and it just opens my lungs. And I don't know if anybody else has breathing issues, but it's really scary if you do. And that is something that I have struggled with over the years, on and off, just exercise induced type things. And or allergies, that kind of thing can really open up the respiratory tract.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say, was allergies too, is using it, whether it's, breathing it in, or also, behind your ears, under your nose, over your, just depending on where your allergies hit. And hives too. If any of you guys struggle with hives, that's a gut issue. We won't get into that today, but that also will help relieve some of the symptoms with hives, that burningness, that itchiness, that kind of thing. Peppermint's also really good for that as well.
Yeah, if you can't tell, we love peppermint. We've got lots of uses for it. So one of the things that I loved is that I had experience with essential oils prior to doTERRA, and I bought some Whole Foods things or health food store things that were organic and supposedly healthier, and I'm sure that they were maybe a little bit healthier but it smelled like, you know, peppermint candy, something you get at Christmas. And the first time I'd opened doTERRA's peppermint, put a drop in my hand and smelled it, it was this experience that was like, holy cow. Everybody that's ever tried it,
Eye water.
yeah, your eyes water, their response is like, whoa, I just went to another dimension, I think. So
Yeah.
it is so strong. And as Becky said, she got to walk through peppermint fields and experience it firsthand and see why it's so powerful. And just the lengths that doTERRA goes to make sure that they're getting the best quality peppermint. So I had a conversation with the owner several months ago about our peppermint and how so often other companies, because they're so concerned about just how it smells for the consumer. So when we're the consumers, we open the bottle and smell it, we want it to smell a certain way. And she said, you know, sometimes it's like a science project. They are watching these plants meticulously to pick them at the perfect time, as Becky said, when the menthol is at its highest. And so sometimes in different seasons and depending on rainfall or sun, it can change the way that smells. So sometimes it might be a little sweeter, sometimes it won't. It's got more of that pepperminty alcohol smell. And what some companies will do is if it doesn't have enough of that alcohol kind of smell, they'll add different things to it, changing the chemical composition of the peppermint completely. Now they've just rendered it way less effective. It doesn't work the same as it did before because they added stuff to it and it changed it. And doTERRA's standard is they're not going to do that. They're going to make sure chemically under a microscope, the compounds remain the same. There's well over 200 compounds, or almost 300 compounds in peppermint alone, which is why it works for menopause and head tension and respiratory and pain and all these different things that we've mentioned, digestive issues. So I have so appreciated the standard of doTERRA, and you have to experience it to appreciate it, because I can tell you, Becky can tell you, we can tell you all day, it's different. But as soon as you crack open that first bottle and take a whiff, you're going to be blown away at the difference. So one last thing, Becky, I want to put you on the spot. Would you tell everybody that's listening, just real fast, will you tell them a little bit about what co-impact sourcing is? Because you got to go firsthand on a sourcing trip, because again, you mentioned you're a diamond leader in doTERRA. You've worked really hard. You have an incredible team, and you're just a super fun business partner anyways. We go way back, and it's so fun that we get to do this together. But will you tell everybody a little bit about what co-impact sourcing is?
Sure. So doTERRA, we believe at doTERRA that the best plants are grown all over globally. And so doTERRA searches all over to find where each plant is best grown in order to have those like high chemical constituents like Jenni was talking about. So what they do is when they find a plant, they will go to sometimes these third world countries, sometimes the US, and partner with these growers. And so what I love about this and resonates with my heartbeat is just how they join these growers to be able to provide for them as well. doTERRA does not go in and say, hey, give us the oils, we'll pay you $1. They say, how can we serve you? So doTERRA is known for building health clinics or schools or putting in wells in some of these places that they source oils. And then they don't just say, hey, we own you now. They also pay them a fair wage. And so they're able to generationally change that entire community because of their partnership. And it was cool because I got to travel with Emily Wright. She's one of the owners of the company, and just to see that relationship. And mind you, it's not I didn't get to go to Haiti where we source vetiver and see real poverty. I actually saw, in the United States, but just to see that connection that they have. They've had dinner together, they've had meals together, they've shared, where it really is a relationship. doTERRA believes in relationship more than just making a product that sells. They believe in taking care of the people, whether it's advocates or growers or anything like that. So that's a little bit about our co-impact sourcing and why it's so meaningful to us, is because of the relationship they have, and that ensures obviously the greatest relationships. They want to please doTERRA, right? And so they want to make sure that they're doing things above board. And also, let me just say one other thing: because doTERRA sources the way they do, they test the way they do. Because if we're getting oils in third world countries, we want to make sure that the standard is up to what doTERRA does. And because we don't have complete control over it, they do more testing than any other company in order to ensure that. So it gets tested on site, then it gets tested to a third party, and then it comes to doTERRA and it's tested further.
Yep, hundreds of tests that it goes through to make sure there's no chemical contaminants and nothing that shouldn't be in there and everything that should. So Man, thank you so much, Becky, for joining us. I hope everybody just takes advantage of this incredible offer, takes advantage of just utilizing even just one oil in your life. If you start with one oil, this is a great one to start with and have in your natural medicine cabinet. Becky shared so many cool ways you can use peppermint, but there's 100 more ways you can use it. So this is a great one to begin with if you've never tried essential oils.
Yep.
And yeah, so hopefully we'll...
One other thing I want to say is if you're skeptical and you don't want to just jump into this BOGO offer and you just want a sample, reach out to Jenni or myself. We would love to get a sample. If you've never had an experience with essential oils and you're curious enough to say, hey, I would love a sample, then reach out to us. We would love to help get you started and having a positive experience with essential oils.
Absolutely. And hit like on this video if you want us to add you to our BOGO groups, because we have some really cool things going on the rest of this week, and you don't want to miss out on it. Lots of really cool tips and some giveaways and some fun stuff. So just hit like on this video if you want us to add you, and we'll do that. All right, guys, thanks for joining. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Becky.
Yep, you bet. Bye-bye.